Your mic is off. There you go.
Awesome. Oh, okay. That's better. Huh. I went, I figured today would be the last day I could go skimboarding in, for the year, for maybe a year or two. So
Uh-huh.
my hair is doing a weird, but it was really fun. The water wasn't that cold. And, because we got off work, well, I left at like 4:30 and then I got back and was trying to contact, trying to work out some other plant details that I needed to. But, yeah, I went skimboarding for like 40 minutes and it was really, really awesome, especially not being able to walk for 18 weeks and then being able to run through the water and skim on the water. It's like, dude, this is awesome. So I figured
I've
that's my,
always I've always seen people skimboarding, and I've always wanted to try it, but I've always been too scared to bust my butt.
that was part of my, that was part of my process of healing because I, I couldn't run. And essentially, like whenever I started skimboarding, I found out that there were certain muscles in the ankles that hadn't been worked on in years. Because essentially, it's full 2 year recovery. So I guess a year that I hadn't worked out certain parts of my body. So that was part of the process
Hmm.
of recovery, learning to skimboard, learning how to fall. But yeah, it was fun. So last encounter with the ocean probably for, if I'm lucky, a year. If I'm lucky, business is going to grow to where I'm back in Florida in a year. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. All right. So, I thought about this question, and I've had it written down for a while, but I want to think about how I want to pose it because, um, depending on how it's said, it could be taken way the wrong way.
Okay.
Um, so based on your knowledge of um, politics and things of the current stance of the country, how would you say that people who want to do better for the country or better for their own lives, how would you say that Christianity could help them? If or actually, um hmm let's see. I'm trying to think because that's maybe too narrow because
Well, no, I can, let me give you an answer to that, and then we'll see if we need to readdress it, if it answers your
okay,
question.
yeah,
I've talked to extreme libertarians and then extreme social, and then socialists and communists, and they're all striving for a utopia. As a Christian, I understand utopia is where I'm going.
right, yeah, yeah.
The question is, what can I, how can I make this area better here? What
Yeah.
can I do with God's grace, by faith, by me pressing into God's promise? What can I do with His grace, His power working on my behalf that makes this area better, that brings God glory, that I want to be excellent in everything I do.
Hmm.
I want to show that excellence and see if I can make and help other people become excellent in what they do, where they actually care, where they're not zombies walking through life, where they're not um, NPC. Is that right? NPC
Non-playable
players?
character, yeah.
Yeah, they're acting like NPCs. It's like, can I get that person to wake up so they actually act like they're alive? They
Right,
act like they're trying to do something and not just coast through.
right.
And and if I can do that, I'm making a difference. So, like, I talked to a libertarian friend, and he's just like, I want no government. He's extreme libertarian. He's an anarchist, basically. Um, and I'm what I would say a minarchist. A minarchist is the least amount of state as possible and as local state as possible. But yeah, there should be a central government to make sure we don't get invaded by other countries. And that military should be strong. That's basically what a minarchist is. And I'm a minarchist, and my buddy is like libertarian wise in the branch. He is an anarchist, and it's like no government whatsoever. And it's like somebody else would invade us. And so
So
he's living. Let me finish the thought. He's
yeah,
living in an area to where my criticism of him is the same criticism of my mom, or at least where my mom was a year ago. What you want can't exist in this world unless everybody, unless we made sure there was no bad people, which is impossible.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, with the one thing as Christians and understanding of God is that the where we are now is not utopia and will never be utopia, but we can get it close if we press into the promise of God.
Hmm.
But utopia is where we're going. We're not
Okay, so
worried about where we're going, though.
let me back you up for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
When you say by pressing into the promise of God, that can be viewed as such a broad statement. So what do you mean specifically by the promise of God?
Proverbs, I have a plan for you to prosper you, and I can't remember the exact verse. Do you remember this
That's okay.
verse? Do you
I
remember what
don't
I'm
remember
trying
the
to?
verse.
I knew you before your mother's womb. My dreams are essentially inside of you. I have plans for you to prosper you and to flourish you. Um,
I wish I had my Bible on hand, but
yeah.
but that's
So I'll go
that's
to a
not
different.
really the point. The point is that I wanted to get a more precise idea of what your statement trying to uh, was trying to say when you said the promise of God. That's really all I was trying to get across. So I think you summed it up.
Well, for example, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing
Yep.
them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That word there, nations, if you translate it more accurately, it's not nations, it's cultures. Go and
Hmm.
make disciples of cultures.
Hmm.
And it's take a culture of people, a group of people, and make them reflect the kingdom. And by pressing into that commandment, what does it look like to make a group of people, let's say where I am currently in Melbourne, Florida, reflect the kingdom of heaven? What does that look like? Strive with everything in me to make this area reflect the kingdom.
Hmm.
And that's the act of pressing into the promise. I'm not, and the fun thing is, it's not one person that's going to do this. No one
No.
person is going to be able to
Right.
like, oh, it was me, you know.
Right.
It's God connecting you with different people. Like I'm working with on I've got the foundations for a phone business in Nashville, and me being obedient to God. What is it? 11 years ago now to move to Oregon, to what was it? Roseburg, Coquille, Oregon, and then Roseburg, Oregon, with a gentleman named Haas, is going to be reflected in the next couple months because that guy is so knowledgeable. He taught me about 5 different things I can do with foam, and he's never even worked with foam tonight. And that's God showing, reflecting. Let's see if I can. It's like his promise, his grace is echoing throughout, echoing from my faithfulness 11 years ago, is going to see me benefit and profit in this upcoming year
Hmm.
because I can literally just tell him the ingredients that I'm working with, and he's going to be able to advise me on it. And that's God showing his grace. He's literally going to be opening doors even before I step into this venture. I'm just planning it out. Even before I step into this venture, he's already opening the doors um, for me to be better than anybody else in this field, at
Mm.
least in the local area. And that's an aspect of faithfulness, me being faithful and his grace working on my behalf.
I think that's pretty well said. And I don't think that we need to revise the question that I asked, because I think that you summed up what I was trying to kind of where I was trying to go with the question anyway. So that was pretty good.
Hmm. All right.
Do you have anything else that you want to add to what we were talking about, or do you want to kind of move in a different direction from this?
Let's do another stream so I don't have to do as much editing.
Sure.
Let's do
So
one more question.
okay. So do
But
you want to
honest,
end this?
yes.
Okay. All right. Funny thing. Do you think we should come up with some kind of an outro?
Hmm. I do. I'm just trying to think of what it should be. Any thoughts?
It could be something, because you're gonna obviously you do you have like editing software? Can you cut the end of this, or should we just go like, okay, we'll see you on the next episode?
Well, we'll see you on the next episode. See you on the
Yeah.
flip side sounds cheap. I can edit
Okay.
this out, but it's also fun. So I think this is just going to be left in
Uh-huh.
because we'll get more professional as we move along. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's a good question. So let's see. See you on the flip side. That sounds cheap and cheesy. See you on the next episode. That's better, but I don't think that's the one. You have to spit some ideas, creative juices. Let's get creative juices working here. See you on the other side. Yeah. Dang it. What does Sticks Hexenhammer say? It
I'll
doesn't say
catch
this.
you on the next session. Maybe. No.
It's better. I don't think it's the right one.
We'll get to it eventually.
No, no, no. Keep going. Keep going. The whole thing is bounce ideas back and forth. So give me another one.
I'm honestly too camera shy.
Oh, well, that's what we're working through, building the skill
I
set.
know.
So get the
Yeah.
camera shy. Um, that's about it. That's all, folks. Um, talk to you later.
We got more
Uh,
coming to you next week.
no, not that one. Well, Sticks Hexenhammer, he just says peace out, and that's his. Peace out. So that's just the way he does it.
This is
He does peace out, and I like peace out. I like that one, but we're not taking his. Next time, keep your eye out. See you next time. See you in a few. Add in something, Cole.
be on the lookout for us next time on Koacolekin. No.
Koacolekin out.
Hmm?
Mm,
Koacolekin out. This is fun though.
yeah, no, Koacolekin
There's a
out. Hmm. The problem with Koacolekin out is it's not inviting them back in. If that makes sense.
Mm,
It's good, and I think Koacolekin out is going to be something we do until we find the next one. I think we're gonna. Does that sound good to go? Koacolekin out, and then
no,
no, okay.
it's a little bit on the realm of cheesy for me. But sometimes cheesy is okay. I just it doesn't feel right.
What about ride on?
What?
Ride on.
Right on. Hmm.
Ride on then. Not ride, but right. Right on. Right on, man.
Right on. I don't know, man.
How's that?
We'll come up with something.
Let's do right on. Let's just go with that until we figure out the next one.
Okay.
Right on.
Right on.
Peace. Right on. Peace. All right. I'll send you a new stream in a sec.